Now, so in today's session, we'll see the first.com platform and what exactly the first.com platform and what is the use. Why should we go for the first.com platform? What are the various use cases or the scenarios which especially enforce you to go to the first.com platform? And what kind of programming languages that we are going to be using as part of first.com platform, and how can we go beyond the limitations of the configuration features? Okay, now. So now tell me, can you give me some examples where exactly we have some limitations as part of configuration and which can be done through development? Can you give me some limitations? Why should we go for this development especially? Because Salesforce has given so many features to us as part of configuration. Like, upon creating an object in Salesforce just by using some navigation, automatically Salesforce is providing a table also to me. Once a table has been getting prepared, automatically user interface also given by Salesforce in the form of a tab. And along with that, it is providing the business logic class also by default. So all the three layers of the application has been given by Salesforce in one shot upon creating a custom object. So no need to design the user interface by my own. No need to write the business logic by my own. No need to design the table by writing some scripts. Everything will be generating by Salesforce because of ORM feature, object relationship and the mapping. Because of object relationship and the mapping feature, upon creating an object, Salesforce is providing all the three layers of your application. It is providing the table, that means database layer. It is providing that user interface in the form of a tab, that means presentation layer or the view part, and then it is going to be providing the business logic also in the form of a class. Then why should we go for this development here? What is the need? Right, okay. Whenever we are using that user interface to manage the records inside my object, okay, it may be any object, standard or custom. Now, upon creating the object, Salesforce is providing a tab to me. So by using the tab, we can able to manage the records. Like we can insert the new records, we can modify, we can remove, we can restore, and we can able to view the records also by using this user interface, which has been given by Salesforce in the form of a tab. So now, as soon as once you click on that new button to create a new record, now tell me how many records can I create at a time now? Only one, not multiple. Do we have any chance to create the multiple records in one shot here? No. We have to create the records. Only one record we can create at a time. Once the first record has been created, then create the second one, and then one more, and then one more, and then one more. Like that, multiple records we can create one by one, one by one, one by one. But sometimes, if I'm creating the records one by one, one by one, one by one, at that time, it is going to be taking more time. It's a time-consuming process. The two that already we have discussed, Salesforce is purely supporting the multi-tenant architecture. That already we have discussed in our initial classes, that Salesforce is not providing a shared, it is not providing a dedicated server, Salesforce is providing a shared infrastructure. So whenever a person wants to use the Salesforce services for that particular customer, Salesforce is allocating some amount of memory space in that associated regions available server. That allocation of that memory space is called as a Salesforce account creation, that is also called as a Salesforce.com organization. That each and every organization can be identified by using a unique identification number, that is called as what? Organization ID. That organization ID contains how many characters? 18 characters alphanumerical number, which always starts with 00D. Right. Now tell me, in a single server, how many organizations will be available? 8,000. In a single server, Salesforce is allocating the memory space for 8,000 organizations. That means 8,000 organizations are available inside a single server. 8,000 customers are utilizing that same server. 8,000 customers' applications are running in the same server. 8,000 customers data is storing inside a single server. At that time, as a customer, if I'm keep on inserting the record one by one, one by one, one by one like that, if I'm creating some 10,000 records one by one, then at that time, it is taking some minimum 2 hours of time to me. At that time, when you make a request, server has to receive a request, it has to create the record inside that object here. So, we are keep on making the server busy and keep on utilizing the server itself. So at that time, if the server is processing only my request, then what about the other customers' request here? Those customers' requests will be in the queue. So those customers will be getting affected. They have to wait for in the queue for a long time. In this case here, if the customers are waiting for a longer period, then from next time onward, they won't utilize my service. For that reason, what I want to do, when coming to that Salesforce, they have given some limitations to you. Okay, they have given some limitations to you here. Like as some governor limits they have introduced. Don't make that server busy always. Okay, don't send the request one by one, one by one, one by one. We can able to send the request in multiple requests. We can able to send in one shot. We can create the bulk records in one shot. We can update the bulk records in one shot. We can delete the bulk records also in one shot. So that don't make a request for each and every record separately. You can collect all the requests and make all this collection of requests to the server in one shot. If you want to send these kind of bulk requests in one shot, then we can go with that First.com platform. Through First.com platform, not only inserting one record at a time, we can insert multiple records also. We can update multiple records in one shot. We can delete multiple records in one shot. That means we can perform the operations on multiple records also in one shot with the help of this First.com platform. That flexibility is available. Okay. So in this case, whenever I'm using that normal user interface given by Salesforce, now this user interface will allows me to create only one record at a time. If you want to modify the records here, now tell me how many records we can modify at a time. Only one. First of all, click on that record here. Open the record first. Click on edit button or use that inline editing features also. Make the changes whatever you want, click on save. And then open another record, modify. And then another record, modify. Like that record by record, record by record, record by record, we're performing the operations. In this case, if I'm having some thousands of records to be get inserted, if I'm having some thousands of records to be get updated, if I'm having some thousands of records to be get deleted, then at that time it will be a time consuming process for me, so that I don't want to go with that the normal user interface. I want a mechanism where I can able to perform the operations on bulk records in one shot. So that I don't want to use these user interfaces, I want to go with a bulkification process with the help of First.com platform. Okay. Now, this is one requirement, one use case, which especially where it will be enforcing you to go to the development part. Now tell me, some more use cases. Any more thing? If you want to add the additional objects, then we are having only two mechanisms. You know. How can we create that objects? By using standard navigation and by using schema builder. Okay, these are the two ways. Okay, we don't have any other alternative mechanism. Then, I will give you the clue. Page layout. Think. Page layout. There is a limitation. There is a limitation in page layout. Number of columns. How many? How many columns we can arrange the fields in the section? Maximum of 2. Now, whenever I'm going to be customizing the page layout, for example, I'm having this page layout here. What is this page layout here? Is it edit layout or detail layout? Edit layout. Now, I want to customize this page layout here. Just to go to that edit layout. Now, tell me, whenever I'm going to be customizing the page layouts to arrange the fields in the required sections, in a section, in how many columns you can arrange the fields in maximum? 2 columns. Either in 1 column or 2 columns maximum. When you go to that section properties, here it is indicating that in how many columns you want to arrange the fields. We can arrange the fields either in 1 column or maximum of in 2 columns. But sometimes my requirement is I want to arrange the fields in maximum of 3 columns. I want to arrange the fields in 4 columns, 5 columns, 10 columns, 20 columns. That is my requirement. Then what we can do? Will the page layout will support to you? No. Then what we can do? What is the alternative? We can go with that. Triggers are for automation. This is what user interface here. Then what we can do? Visual Force, right. So now in this case here, whenever we are going to be customizing the page layout will allow you to arrange the fields in maximum of 2 columns, not more than that. Whenever if you want to arrange the fields in more than 2 columns, then we can able to go with that Force.com platform. Through Force.com platform, we can able to customize these functionalities here. That's what, when coming to the Salesforce, okay, if anybody asks, okay, in the entry point of view, have you worked on configuration and customization? Say confidently, Salesforce is not purely configuration. Salesforce is not purely development. It's a combination of both configuration and customization here. Some features we have to implement through mouse pointers, like as validations, workflows, sharing rules, process builders, and then assignment rules, auto response rules, escalation rules, formulas, all these things. We have to implement through mouse pointers, and then sometimes you have to write some business logic through programming. We have to mix together here. So that Salesforce application development is not purely development, it's not purely configuration. It's a combination of both configuration, customization, both we have to mix together. Okay? Because if it is purely development, then at that time, everything we have to write through coding here. Okay? But at that time, it will take more time. But Salesforce has given some plenty of features to you in order to reduce that coding part. So don't implement each and every functionality just by writing some code. We have given so many features to you through configuration. Just by using the mouse clicks, implement those features. If that is not possible, then go to the development part here. Okay? So that here, Salesforce is not fully development, not fully configuration. It's a combination of both configuration and customization both. Okay? Now, in this case here, okay, now here in this case. Now, when coming to that application development, we have to go with either configuration or customization, and sometimes you have to mix together both. That will be decided by the requirement itself. Based on the requirement, we have to decide whether we can go with configuration or customization, or both we have to do. Okay? Depends upon the requirement. We should be able to analyze that. Okay? Now, the next one. Next one. Tell me one more requirement here. Where exactly it will enforce you to go to the development part. Sorry? Pagination. Okay. Pagination has been given by Salesforce by default here. Here we have the pagination ready-madely has been given by Salesforce to you. We have the pagination facilities available. We can able to select how many records you want to show per page. Depends upon the requirement. We can able to navigate the records from first to last and last to first also. The possibilities available. No. So in this case, right. So now here they have given that option to customize that, the pagination. We can specify either 10 records at a time, 25 or 50, 100, 200, they have given these options here. But sometimes I want to show 3 records in a page, 3 or 4 records in a page, 7 records in a page. At that time, that is not possible here. At that time, we can go with our own customized pagination also. Okay, right. Any more thing? Next one. One more. For example, I'm creating an account record here. I'm creating an account record with the name some Shyam Kumar. Okay, Shyam Kumar. Once you click on save, the record has been created successfully. Okay, account record has been created successfully. I'm creating one more account record here. Here also, I'm giving that name as Shyam Kumar. Once you click on save button, what will happen? Will the record will be acceptable or will the record will be rejected? What happened? The record has been accepted. I'm creating one more record here with the same name, Shyam Kumar. When I click on save button, record is accepted. That means what? Duplicate records are accepting. Why? Because whatever the save button that we have, okay, whatever the save button that we have, the save button has been written some business logic that simply it will be saving the record into the object. That's it. It won't verify with this name already an account record is exist in my table or not. But my requirement is, as part of my customer requirement, customer asks me, don't allow the duplicate account records. Account means what? Customer. Don't allow the duplicate customer records. Whenever when the user is trying to be creating a record, upon click on save button, don't accept the record directly. First of all, please verify with this name already an account record is exist in my table or not. If the record is exists, then show the message duplicate record found, so this record cannot be acceptable. If the record is not there inside my table, then allow the record to create into the object here. That means I want this kind of deduplication process in place. I want this kind of duplication elimination process in my application. But when coming to the save button is purely blindly saving the record into the object. It won't verify with this detail the record is already exist or not. It won't cross-check that. But I want that deduplication mechanism. I want that duplication elimination process inside my Salesforce instance. Then what we can do? In this case, we can go with that Force.com platform. Through Force.com platform, we can able to implement this functionality also. So as soon as once you click on the save button, I want to write some business logic that has to be get filed automatically, which has to verify with this name already a record is exist or not. If the record is exist, it should not allow this record to me. If the record is not there, it has to accept the record as it is into my object here. Okay. So in this case, we can go with that development part. Okay. Now, for that one, we can go with that Force.com platform. Next. Now tell me some more limitations. Because why I'm giving this kind of information is, whenever you are going to that any organization, okay, they will give you a small requirement during the interview point of view also. Then they will ask your suggestion, how you are going to implement. Will you go with configuration or customization? If customization, why? If configuration, how? Okay, how can we implement true configuration? If it is not possible, then why should we go for this customization part here? It's a common question. Whenever you are getting any requirement also inside your organization, once you get into a job, when you get any requirement, first of all, please think about the requirement, whether this can be possible through configuration or not. If it is possible through configuration, then what feature we need to use? Do we need to use any validation rule, workflow rule, process builder, sharing rule? What we need to create? Then we have to identify how much time that we need over here to complete that requirement. Suppose if the admin feature is not possible, configuration is not sufficient, then we have to go with the development part. There what we need to use? Do we need to use that Apex programming or Visualforce programming? Or do we need to create a trigger or a batch class, or what we need to do? For this one, how much time that we need here? So that analysis is very, very important. Based on that analysis, we can give the effort estimation. That means how much time that we need to complete this requirement here. If you do the right analysis, then you can give the right estimation. Once the estimation has been approved by the client, then we can't increase the estimation again over here. Okay. So that here, always we have to go with that right analysis part. So you should be aware of which can be possible through configuration, which are not possible through configuration. Then why should we go for development? Okay, should be aware of all these parts, especially. Now in this case, next one. Give me one more use case, which especially enforce you to go to the development part. For example, I'm having an object here. In my object, I'm having 700 fields. Can I add 700 fields inside my object? I'm using unlimited edition of Salesforce. Can I add? How many custom fields that we can have in free developer edition per an object? How many custom fields we can add per object in unlimited edition? 500 in where? Free developer edition. Unlimited edition, 800 custom fields we can able to add. So we are having that limitation here. Now in this case, now I assume that I'm having that 700 fields inside my object where I'm using some unlimited edition. Unlimited edition will allow you to create maximum of 800 custom fields per an object here. For example, I have created 700 fields. Now, as part of my client requirement, I want to make 500 fields are mandatory. 500 fields, I would like to make it required here. How can we do this one? How can we make this 500 fields required, mandatory? Validation rules, okay? Now tell me how many validation rules that we can create per an object. How many? Right. So inside a single object, we can able to have maximum of 100 validation rules will be inactive, not more than that. You can create multiple n number of validation rules also per an object, but so active validation rules should be maximum of 100 per an object. So now by using 100 validation rules, I can make 100 fields mandatory. Then what about the remaining 400 fields here? I want to make total is 500 fields to be inactive. Nothing but mandatory here. 100 fields I can make it active by using validation rules. Then what about the remaining 400 fields over here? In this case here, whenever I'm creating the validation rules also, Salesforce has given the limitation that we can able to create maximum of 100 validation rules per an object, not more than that. Suppose if you want more than 100, then what we can do? In this case, we can go with that Force.com platform. Through Force.com platform, we can able to create our own custom validations also to make n number of fields mandatory also, that possibility is there. There is no limitation for the Force.com platform. For the development, there is no limitations. You can make n number of fields also mandatory with the help of Force.com platform. That possibility is available to you here. Okay. So this is one case we can able to go with that, the Force.com platform. Okay. Now, next one. Let me show you a small requirement here. So we have received a requirement from the client. Let me explain you the requirement. Tell me your suggestion. Now, so let's try to understand the requirement here. They have given some information. When you click on this Accounts tab, the immediate view must be modified as follows. Okay, when you click on this Accounts tab, the immediate view must be modified as follows. Now, view means what? User interface. Okay, now. So now we are having the tab bar. Okay, this is the tab bar that we have inside my Salesforce instance. On my tab bar, I'm having so many tabs like Home tab, Getting Started, Accounts tab, Contacts, Campaigns, Leads. So many tabs are available. So now when you click on Accounts tab, that means upon click on this Accounts tab, the immediate view, nothing but immediately the user interface will be getting visible. Okay, now. So in this case, let me go to my Salesforce instance. As soon as once you click on this Accounts tab, immediately the user interface will be getting visible. Now this user interface is called as what? This is what? The center user interface, we're calling it as what? This user interface. This is list view. Okay, this is list view. The center page. Huh? Somebody is telling that. No. Enhanced list view is up to this part only. This complete user interface, this complete page. Huh? Home page, right. So it's a tab home page. Okay, it's a tab home page. So in this case, as soon as once you click on this Accounts tab, the immediate view, nothing but immediately user interface will be getting visible, which is called as the tab home page. Upon click on these opportunities, the tab home page will be getting visible. Upon click on this Campaigns tab home page will be getting visible. Like the similar way, as soon as once you click on this Accounts tab, the tab home page will be getting visible here. In this tab home page, we are having so many controls. Like we have the enhanced list view control. This is the recent records section, which is going to be displaying that recently viewed, recently created, and the recently edited records will be getting visible over here. You will be having the reports section. You will be having the tools section is available here. All the options are available. Now let's see what is the requirement here now. Now, when you click on this Accounts tab, the immediate view must be modified as follows. That means whatever the user interface is getting visible, whatever the tab homepage is visible, they would like to customize the tab homepage. Then what they want to do? They are given that option, remove the highlighted links. Some of the links they don't want. Okay, what option they don't want now? Let me see. So now just to go to the report section, in that report section, they don't want this account owner's link here. And then when you go to the tools section, it is providing so many options here, but these people, they don't want. That means whatever the options are available, which have been striked out with the red color, the options, nothing but red color highlighted. So these options they don't want on the user interface. So now they don't want all these options in the tools section. In the report section, they don't want this option here. That means this is the option. This option they don't want, and these are the options they don't want here. How can we remove this? They ask us to remove the highlighted links. Whatever the links are available which have been highlighted with the red color, they ask us to remove this one. Now tell me, how can we do this one? Page layout. Page layout is used to what? To create the records, to manage the records. That's it. This is the tab home page. Okay? Why? Why should we go for Visual Force tabs? Okay? Now tell me, in this case, can I remove these options, whatever they don't want? Tab home page cannot be customizable. There is no option. It's a static user interface, which has been given by Salesforce. What are the tab home page that we have? This a tab home page is a static user interface which cannot be customizable. These options we can't arrange. These options we can't disable. These options we can't remove also. These are not pluggable components. We can't make it active, inactive. That kind of options are not available. These are fixed options. If you want, you can use it. If you don't want, leave it. No problem. But when coming to the tab homepage you can't customize. But in this case, when coming to the client is going to be, they are raising a requirement to remove some of the highlighted links. Then what we can do? In this case, this tab homepage cannot be customizable. In this case, what we need to do? We need to design the user interface exactly same like this, but without the options, whatever they don't want here. Okay? Without the options, whatever they don't want, we can able to design the user interface exactly like this, without this tools option, without this the account owners option here. Okay? So now in this case, whatever the tab homepage has been given by Salesforce, this tab homepage cannot be customizable. At that time here, we can go with that, the Visual Force programming. Through Visual Force programming, we can design our own user interfaces based on the customer requirement. So that here, whenever if you got any requirement to customize the tab homepage, say confidently this is not possible through configuration. For this one, we have to go with that development part. Okay, for that one, we have to go with that Force.com platform, especially there we are using that Visual Force programming. Why? Because is Visual Force programming for what? User interface. This is the user interface customization. So we have to go with that Visual Force programming here. Okay, clear? Now, the next one. For example, come to a scenario. Assume that I would like to share some records to the people. Okay? I would like to share some records to the people dynamically at runtime. In order to share the record, how many ways are there in Salesforce? How many ways are there? 3 ways are available. What are those? Manual sharing, automated sharing, Apex sharing. Okay? Now, manual sharing, you know how to create that, how to share the record manually. How to share the record automatically also, you know, by using that sharing rules. That may be owner based or that may be criteria based also. Okay, now. So now whenever we are going to be creating the sharing rule, what we need to specify? Upon creating the sharing rule, we have to specify the details here. Based on what condition you would like to share the record here. Based on what conditions you would like to share the record. I'm selecting that criteria based. Now in this case, what needs to be done? Upon configuring that sharing rule, we have to specify what is the sharing rule label, name, and the description. This is a common thing. Next, I want to share the record based on some condition, based on some criteria. Now what conditions you want me to verify? Okay, what conditions you want me to verify here? In this case here, what needs to be done? We are going to be specifying the criteria-based sharing rule where we can specify the condition. If the account record industry equals to banking, share the record to that person. If the account record industry finance, share the record to that person. If the account record industry is some manufacturing, share the record to that person. Like that depends upon that condition, I want to share the record to that respective people. So that we have to specify these conditions here. Now, if the account records industry value, okay, if the account records industry value equals to some banking, I want to share the record to whom? We can specify that record here, to whom you want to share with. I want to share the record to that Hyderabad sales group here. Now we can say. Like the similar way, if the account record industry equals to some finance, I want to share to the another person. Like that, multiple sharing rules we have to create. Along with that, what are the conditions you are going to be specifying here? We have to hard code the conditions first. Okay? Hard code the conditions first, and then select the people to whom you want to share the record, and then what level of access you would like to grant on the record to the other people. No, these are all we are hard coding inside the rule itself. But sometimes I want a dynamic mechanism. Okay? Sometimes I want a dynamic mechanism here. Like for example, let me explain. I'm having the account object here. So now whenever I'm creating the record, I would like to select the people here. Share record to. Okay? So now I'm selecting the user over here. I'm selecting the development user. Now when I click on save button, this record has to be shared to the development user automatically by default. Sometimes here once a record has been getting shared, then I will open the record here. I will modify this one. I would like to select another user called as some manager user. When I click on save, it has to share the record to the manager user. That means what? I am going to be deciding to whom you want to share the record dynamically at runtime. I'm not hard coding. Here we are going to be hard coding the values here. Okay. When you go to that, the sharing rules we are specifying to whom you want to share the record. But here I don't want to hard code. I want to select the user dynamically at runtime. I want this kind of mechanism here. Whatever the user has selected, to that user I want to share the record. I want to select that the level of access also dynamically at runtime. But that kind of mechanism is not available when coming to your sharing rule also. Sharing rule won't give that kind of facility. We can't decide that people to whom you want to share the record at runtime. We can't decide what level of access to be granted to the users on our records at runtime. That is not possible. At that time, we can go with our own sharing mechanism here, which can be implemented by using our own programming language that is called as Apex programming. That already you are aware of that here. Okay, that already you are aware of that as part of sharing concept we have discussed. As part of sharing concept, we have already discussed about that. So as part of sharing mechanism, we have discussed that we can able to share the record manually with the help of sharing button. Automated sharing can be done with the help of sharing rules. And then we can able to share the record through our Apex programming also with the help of triggers. Here we are having the capability that to whom you want to share the record, we can decide dynamically at runtime. What level of access you want to grant, we can decide dynamically at runtime. That possibility is available with the help of this Apex sharing, which can be done with the help of that Apex programming as part of triggers here. So at that time, to share the record to the required people dynamically at runtime, we can go with that, the Apex sharing mechanism, which can be done with the help of development part here. As part of Force.com platform, we'll see how can we share the record to the users dynamically at runtime with the, by selecting the recipient person at runtime, by selecting the level of access also at runtime here. That possibility is available. Okay? Clear? Now, the next one. For example, I want to create some assignment rules over here. Okay, I want to create some assignment rules. So now whenever we are going to be creating the assignment rules over here, how can we assign the record to the users? How can we assign the records to the users here? We are going to be configuring that queues. We can create our own queues, and then in that queue, we can able to transfer the record ownership. Now tell me, In order to transfer the record ownership to the user or queue, we are using two mechanisms. One is manual transfer, second one is automated. Automated can be done with the help of what? Assignment rules. What type of assignment rules that we have in Salesforce? How many types of assignment rules are available? Manual and automated, okay, fine. In automated here, how many types of assignment rules? Two types. What are those? Sorry? Lead and case, right. Lead assignment rules and then case assignment rules. Two types of assignment rules are available. Lead assignment rules are used to assign the lead record to that user or queue dynamically at runtime. Case assignment rules are used to assign the case record to the user or queue dynamically at runtime. Now tell me, these are the only two object records we can place inside the queue. Can't we store any other object records inside the queue? What are the various queue supporting objects in Salesforce? Lead object, case object, order object, feedback, feedback question set, feedback template, feedback request, performance cycle, goal, metric, macro, knowledge article version, user provisioning request, scorecard, quick text, coaching, authorization form consent, like that. Along with that, all the custom objects also. All these objects information we can able to store inside the queue. But at that time, if I am creating a queue to store my custom object record, how can we create the assignment rule? Do we have any such kind of assignment rule on my custom object? No. Assignment rules are applicable only on two objects, lead assignment, case assignment. For my custom object, how can we create the assignment rule? At that time, we can go with that Force.com platform. Through Force.com platform, we can able to create our own custom assignment rules also on whatever the object that you want. That possibility is available. Everywhere, whenever we are going to be implementing any feature, at that time there are some limitations are available which has been given by Salesforce as part of governor limits. So, to go beyond those limitations, to overcome those limitations given by Salesforce as part of configuration, we are using a feature called as customization. Customization can be done with the help of Force.com platform. Okay. So Force.com is a customized platform. It's a cloud platform which has been given by Salesforce by default. Okay, which has been given by Salesforce by default. Okay. Now, so in this case, Force.com platform will be comes under what? SaaS part, or PaaS, or infrastructure? PaaS. That already we have discussed in our initial classes itself. When coming to the Salesforce people are going to be offering the three classifications of services to you. First one is they are offering the SaaS features. Okay, software as a service. As part of SaaS, what kind of features they are given to you? SaaS means what? Ready-made applications. What ready-made applications has been given by Salesforce? Salesforce CRM. Now, so in this case, as part of this Salesforce CRM application, we are having so many features are available inbuilt, like some sales application, service application, marketing, content, charter, community, site.com. So many applications has been given by Salesforce as part of Salesforce CRM, which can be used to automate all our existing customers and the new customers information at one place. In this case, what are the features has been given by Salesforce as part of sales application? Only those features do we need to use? Can't we extend that? Is it possible? Yes, that is also possible here. Okay. Now in this case here, for example, assume that as part of sales application, they have given some 100 features. Okay, 100 features. Now, assume that my business is a very large enterprise. We are having so many divisions. We are having so many departments. We are having so many branches are available. So, in order to automate all those information, what are the 100 features has been given by Salesforce as part of sales application? These are not sufficient. We want some more. Then what we can do? Do I need to request to Salesforce, please give me these features also? No. Do I need to wait till Salesforce is giving these additional features? No, I can't wait. Because when Salesforce will give those additional features, we don't know. Salesforce may be providing that features, may not be providing that features here. In this case, what we can do? Can we build those features by our own? Yes, that possibility is available. So that here, in order to leverage the functionalities, in order to customize that functionalities, we are using that platform as a service. Salesforce is not only offering that ready-made application, Salesforce is offering a platform also. Okay, Salesforce is offering a platform also as part of platform as a service that is called as Force.com platform. Force.com platform. So now Force.com is a platform which has been introduced by the Salesforce. Okay, Salesforce.com is an organization which is providing the various classifications of cloud computing services. Like they're offering SaaS services, PaaS services, infrastructure services also. All the three classifications of services are offering by Salesforce, and then as part of those services, they're offering a platform service also, okay, that is called as Force.com platform. So by using this Force.com platform, what we can do basically here? Okay, right, these are the programming languages, fine. Then, what is the main use of this Force.com platform? That what we can do with the help of that Apex and Visual Force? Customization. By using this Force.com platform, we can customize the existing application functionalities. Okay, whatever the features have been given by Salesforce, we can customize those existing features with the help of Force.com platform. That means by using Force.com platform, we can customize the existing features. Whatever the existing features has been given by Salesforce, those features we can able to customize here. That is one thing. Second one, we can leverage the functionalities, right? Yes, leveraging means what? Extending. That means adding some more additional enhancements. Okay, now. Beyond the limitation, nothing but limitations in the sense not in terms of governor limits. Governor limits are imposing everywhere. But configuration limits we can overcome here. Okay, now. Because through configuration, something is not possible, then we can go with the development here. But all has to be get running under the control of governor limits only here. Okay, now we can able to leverage the features here. Leverage the features by adding the additional enhancements. So whatever the additional features that you want, we can build those additional features by adding some additional enhancements with the help of this Force.com platform. And then, next. We can? Right. So not only adding some small features, not only customizing the small features, we can build our own custom applications also. Why? Because as part of Salesforce CRM, they have given only few applications to me. Like sales application, service, marketing, content, charter, community, site.com. These are the applications that have been given by Salesforce by default. But I want some more. I want a banking application, finance application, manufacturing, healthcare, consulting, construction, education related, life sciences related. I want these kind of applications, but those are not available ready-madely at that time. We can build our own custom applications also by using Force.com platform. So by using that Force.com platform, we can build our own custom applications also. We can build our own custom applications also by using that Force.com platform. Whatever the applications that you want, we can build. Whatever the business logic that you want, we can implement. Whatever the user interface that you want, we can implement with the help of this Force.com platform. Now, what else we can do by using Force.com platform? Okay, integrate the applications here. That means here, not only building my own application by using Salesforce platform, once application has been developed, in order to integrate this application with any external systems also, with any third-party systems also, it may be with banking systems, or insurance applications, Java application, .NET application, SAP applications. With any application also, we can integrate your Salesforce application with the help of this Force.com platform. So by using this Force.com platform, we can integrate the Salesforce application with any external system. Okay, we can integrate that Salesforce application with any external system also. That possibility is available as part of integration also. We are using the same Force.com platform, only Apex programming, only nothing different. Okay, during the integration concepts also, we are using that same Apex programming, Visual Force programming only. Okay, now. So now in this case, by using this Force.com platform, we can able to customize the existing application functionalities. We can leverage the features by adding some additional enhancements also. And we can able to build our own custom applications. And we can able to integrate our Salesforce applications with any external systems also. That possibility has been given by Salesforce as part of Force.com platform. Okay, now. In this case, how can we implement these things? Do we need to write some code, right? Yes. How can we write? What programming languages that we need to use? In this case, as part of Force.com platform, Salesforce has given two programming languages. First one is for what? Apex programming. Second one, Visual Force programming. Now tell me, Apex programming is for what? Visual Force programming is for what? Apex programming is for what? Business logic. Right. In order to implement the custom business logic, we are using that Apex programming. Visual Force programming is for what? User interface. To design the custom user interfaces. In order to design the attractive and the dynamic user interfaces, what are the features are required, we are able to implement that features by using Visual Force programming. These are the two programming languages has been introduced by Salesforce as part of Force.com platform, through which we can design that user interfaces, and by using that Apex programming, we can build the business logic also. Done? Now. So now let's see in this case here. Now whenever we are customizing that applications by using Salesforce, here we have two types of customizations are available. Okay, as part of Salesforce, we have two types of customizations here. The first one is declarative customizations. Second one is programmatic customizations. As part of Salesforce, we have two types of customizations are available. First one is declarative, second one is programmatic customization. Declarative means what? Programmatic means what? Declarative in the sense what? Just by using mouse clicks without writing any code. That means declarative means what? No coding. That means without coding. Programmatic means what? With coding. Okay? With coding. With coding and then without coding here, both. Whenever you are customizing that application features, we have two types of customizations are available. One is the declarative customizations. Second one is programmatic customizations. Declarative customizations can be done with the help of just mouse clicks by using that mouse pointers, without writing any code, without having any technical skills, without using any programming languages. So anybody can do that. Even though he is a business person, even though he is an end user, they can able to use that features. They no need to have the technical skills. They no need to learn any programming languages. They no need to write any code. Just by using some mouse pointers, we can able to implement the functionalities. But programmatic customizations require some programming skills. That means the people has to write some code. They have to use some programming languages. They have to write some code. Through that code, they can able to achieve the feature whatever they are expecting. Okay, now in this case here, let me check, okay, whether have we implemented any declarative features or not. Okay, now in this case here, let me go back to my applications here. For example, I'm creating an object here. Okay, I'm creating an object with the name some customer. I'm creating an object with the name some customer. Whenever I'm creating an object with the name customer, what kind of features will be given by Salesforce by default? Upon creating an object, what features Salesforce will provide to you? First of all, it is providing a table. What is the table name? Customer underscore underscore C. Next. Tab. What is the tab name? Customers. Third one. Business logic. Business logic will be available in the form of a class. What is that class name? Customer underscore underscore C. Okay, now. So now let's see, for example, here I'm having these 3 layers. For every application, we should require 3 layers here. Now let me explain the concept here. Now, so these are the 3 layers are available here. Okay, these are the 3 layers. Now, we are having the table, we are having that user interface, we are having this business logic here. Okay, now. So now, this particular tables are called as database part. It is also called as modal part. Okay, it is also called as modal part. Modal means what? Modal describes how the data has been organized. Organizing in the sense what? Storing. Where you have stored the data. In which table we have stored the data. In which columns you have stored the data. How the tables are associated with each other. This whole feature will be called as modal part. Okay, now. Next one, once the table is ready, in order to store the data inside the table, we need some user interfaces, right? Yes. We need that user interface. These user interfaces are called as presentation, or GUI, or the front end, or screens, or forms, or view, or web page, anything. The people are using different terminologies here. So in this case, when coming to the view describes how the data has been represented. Representing means what? Presenting. That means displaying how the records are visible to you. The whole record is getting visible to you in the form of various sections, or all the records are visible in a table or format. How the data has been represented to the people, that will be indicated by the user interface part. And then in order to perform the operations inside the table through the user interface, we need some mediator component that is called as business logic. Now this business logic is also called as controller. Okay, controller. We are having that modal part, we are having that view part, we are having that controller part. Controller means what? Controller is nothing but the business logic which will be receiving the request here. After entering some data inside my text boxes, upon click on that save button, request will be sending to the business logic. Business logic will collect all the data. Based on the data, it will be connecting to the respective database. It will go to the respective table. Record will be getting inserted. Once the record has been inserted, it is collecting the response back. The same response will be sending back to the user interface here. The flow will be happening when coming to the application execution. Now in this case, to provide the communication between the view part and the modal part, then we are using that, we are connecting these two parts with the help of a mediator component called as business logic here. Okay, business logic. Now, we are having the database part, we are having the front end, and then the business logic part is available. Now, this front end and the business logic comes under Force.com platform. Okay, both are comes under Force.com platform. Why? Because if you want to design your own user interfaces, then we are using the Visual Force programming. To build the business logic, what programming language we are using? Apex programming. These two are comes under the Force.com platform. So as part of Force.com platform, we can able to design our own user interfaces. We can able to build our own business logic also by using Apex and Visual Force programming. Database design will be exactly same like as your user interface, nothing but here. Like as point and click option, like as we're using standard navigation, and then we are using that schema builder itself over here. The whole data will be getting resides inside the database.com. So now database.com, you are aware of that. It is a customized database of Salesforce, where exactly Salesforce objects and the records will get resides inside this. All your data will be getting resides inside that database.com here. Okay. Now, so now these are the three layers will be getting required for every application over here. Each application requires the three layers over here. Okay. Now, these are the three layers here. So this is the model part, and this is the view part, this is the controller part. Model means what? Model contains what? Tables. Tables in the sense what in Salesforce? Objects. Okay, objects. Now tell me, have you designed any model part? That means have you designed any objects? Yes. Now, in this case, now tell me how can we implement the model part now? How to implement the model part? Implementing the model part in the sense what? Designing what? Objects. And then fields. And then between the objects what we can do? Relationship. That's it. Nothing else. Okay. Now, you know how to create the object? You know how to create the fields? You know how to map the associations? Everything. So you are done with the data modeling part. That's what I told you here. Once the relationship concept is over, then you can add a point inside your profile that I'm having the experience on data modeling part. If anybody asks how did you implement the data modeling, then you can say that here. So now data modeling is nothing but designing the database part. That means designing the table, adding the columns, mapping the association. Then how we have implemented by using standard navigation, by using that schema builder, both the features here. You know how to create the object by using standard navigation, how to create the objects by using schema builder. What is the difference between these two? You are already aware of that here. Okay. Now, in this case here, as part of configuration here, okay, as part of configuration, that means here declarative customization. Through declarative customization also we have implemented that the model part over here. Model, view, controller. Controller here. Declarative means what? Without writing any code, just by using some mouse clicks. Okay, just by using some mouse clicks, we can able to implement the model part, view part, and the controller part over here. Now let me explain each and every feature. Let me go back to my table over here. This is the table that we have. Now, so now tell me how you have implemented this database over here, declarative part. Declarative. Now tell me how can we implement the model part? Model part can be done with the help of what? By creating objects, by adding the fields, and then by mapping the association. That's it. Simple. Now declarative. As part of declarative, we are designing the database over here. We can create the objects. We can adding the fields. And the third one, we can map the relations. We can map the relationship between the objects here. So now model part can be done. Okay, model part can be done through declaratively without writing any code. Now tell me, in order to map this association between the objects or to create the objects or to add the fields, have you written any code as of now? No. So through declaratively we have implemented here. That means just by using some mouse clicks, without writing any code, without using any programming languages, we are able to implement the features declaratively. Okay, now. Next, come to the view part here. Tell me what views you have implemented through mouse pointers here. Tell me. Page layouts, okay? Lookup dialogues. Next. Apps. Upon creating the application, Salesforce is going to providing that user interface. Next. Right. Enhance the list view. Recent record section will be already is available over there. That we are customizing. Any more? One more. Once the object is created to manage the records, what we need? Then tabs. Okay. Now tell me, have you implemented all these things or not as of now? Have you written any code? Have you used any programming languages? No. So now we have designed that user interfaces also, like as page layouts, lookup dialogues, application creation, enhanced list views, tabs. These are all comes under the user interface part, which we have implemented declaratively. That means without writing any code. Okay. Now tell me, have you implemented any controller part here? Any business logics here? Right. Validation rules, formulas, roll-up summary, workflow rules, process builder, sharing rules, assignment rules, escalation rules, auto response rules. These are comes under the business logic part, which you have implemented declaratively. That means without writing any code, without having the knowledge of any programming language. Okay. So we are able to implement the validation rules, formulas, roll-up summaries, and then workflow rules, process builder, sharing rules, assignment rules, escalation rules, auto response rule. Okay, all these things. Okay, so these are comes under the business logic part, which you are implemented without writing any code as of now. Sometimes, for example, whatever the page layout has been given by Salesforce, okay, the page layout which has been given by Salesforce, that is not sufficient. My client is asking me to arrange the fields in 3 columns, 4 columns, 5 columns, 10 columns. Then what we can do? The existing page layout is not fulfilling my requirement. Then what we can do? Go with that Visualforce programming. So for that one, we need to write some code or not? Yes. So that here we are going with that programmatic features. We are going with the programmatic here. Now, whatever the page layouts has been given by Salesforce, whatever the lookup dialogues, applications, enhanced list of views, tabs which has been given by Salesforce, if these are not sufficient, then we can able to implement by using our own programming part over here. That can be done with the help of Visualforce programming. By using that Visualforce programming, what we can do, we can design our own customized user interfaces with attractive look and feel. with a rich look and feel. We can make that user interface look like attractive so that other people can able to use my application features also. Okay. So in this case here, that's what when coming to the Visual Force programming, Visual Force is not call it as a programming, Visual Force is calling it as a web development framework. Okay. Visual Force is call it as a web development framework which allows you to design attractive and the dynamic user interfaces. Not only designing the static user interfaces, okay, we can able to make that user interface dynamic. So that once you click on that button, it will perform some action. When you click on link, it is going to perform some different actions also. So that I need those kind of dynamic mechanisms that can be implemented with the help of Visual Force. So that Visual Force is called it as a Visual Force is a web development framework which is used to design attractive and the dynamic user interfaces as part of your application requirement. Like for example, come to a scenario that already you are aware of that here. Now, in this case here, for example, my customer is expecting the user interface like this. My customer is expecting the user interface like this. He needs a user interface which is used to search for some records. I want a search mechanism over here. Here the user will enter some set of characters, like as some test, I'm entering some characters here. Based on the test, when you click on search records, whatever the account records are available, whose name is starting with the character test, those records has to be get collected, those records has to be get visible in my table or format. Below that table, I want to show that enhancer list view. Now tell me, is it possible through configuration? That means declarative? No. Okay. Because here, enhancer list view is available where on top of the page, where on top of the home page here. Can I move it to down? No, that already we have discussed. Tab home page cannot be customizable. It's a fixed, it's a static user interface. So at that time, whatever the facilities the customer is expecting, we have to design by our own according to the customer requirement. According to the customer requirement, we have to implement our own functionalities here. We have to design our own user interfaces. So in this case, if the customer is expecting any customized user interfaces, we have to design. For that one, we are going with that, the Visual Force programming especially. By using this Visual Force programming, we can able to design our own customized user interfaces. Now, next one. How can we go with that? The programmatic customizations. Whatever the business logics has been, we have implemented by using mouse pointers. If these are not sufficient, I want some more, then what we can do? By using that Apex programming. By using the Apex programming, we can design our own customized, we can implement our own custom business logic. Like as a duplication rules also we can implement. Custom business logics also we can implement. Search functionalities, whatever the customer is expecting. Each and every business logic we can implement with the help of Apex programming. Okay? If you want to insert some bulk records into your object, bulk record if you want to delete, bulk record if you want to retrieve, bulk record if you want to restore, at that time we can perform all the operations by using that Apex programming. So that Apex programming is purely comes under programmatic customization. Visual Force is also comes under programmatic customization. Okay, but Visual Force is used to design the user interface. Apex programming is used to build the business logic here. When coming to the database here, do we have any programmatic part? Nothing. Okay. If anybody asks how we have designed the database, say confidently, we have done the database design by using the standard navigation and then by using the schema builder. That's it. We don't have any programming part here. Okay. We are having that programming part only for the user interface and the business logic. So that's what here these two are available as part of Force.com platform. Okay. Database design should be always done by using the mouse pointers and along with that the schema builder feature. Okay? Clear? Now, So now here in this case, as part of this Force.com platform, we are going to be discussing about that Apex programming and then Visual Force programming. So now these are comes under programmatic customization, and the remaining features we have implemented as of now, which are comes under declarative. Now tell me in this case, implementing that feature through declarative is easy or through programming is easy? Declarative is easy. Now tell me what are the benefits of this declarative here. Then, is it easy to implement or difficult to implement through declarative? Easy to implement, right? It is easy to implement. Okay, it is easy to implement. Next, time saving. Now tell me in this case, are we writing any code over there? No. If I'm not writing that code, everything we are using through mouse pointers, will it take less time or more time? Less time here. So now it is a time saving. It will save the time here. Okay, it will save the time here. If the time is reduced, then what about the budget here? Budget will increase or budget will reduce? Reduced. Okay, it will reduce the budget here. It will reduce the budget. Now tell me in this case here. Okay, now tell me in this case. Now in this case, do we need to have any programming knowledge here? No. Okay, it doesn't require. Doesn't require any programming knowledge. So declarative customization doesn't require any programming skills, and then it is very, very easy to implement, so that everything we are going to be implementing with the help of mouse pointers itself. So it will take very less time. If the time is getting less, then we can able to make the application development faster, and then we can able to save the budget also. These are the various benefits that we have as part of declarative customization. Now tell me as part of programmatic customization. What are the things are required here? Then, do we need any programming skills to implement this one? Yes. Okay. Now, it requires the programming knowledge. Okay, it requires the programming knowledge. What programming that we need to learn? Apex and Visual Force programming, both the programming languages, we should be aware of that. Apex programming is for what? Visual Force is for what? Apex programming is for business logic implementation, and then Visual Force is for user interface designs here, right? Okay. Whenever you need to implement your own user interface, go with that Visual Force programming. If you want to build only business logic, then go with that Apex programming part. Okay, now. The next one here. So now here in this case, the people who are going to be implementing that code, okay, they should be aware of some programming language here. Okay, now they have to write the code. They have to write the code by using Force.com platform supported programming languages. That means by using Apex programming and the Visual Force programming. So that we should be aware of Apex programming and then Visual Force programming also. Now, by using this programmatic customization, can we build some complex business logics also, right? Yes. By using that programmatic customizations, we can build some complex business logics also, complex validations also, complex transactional flows also we can able to design, implement with the help of this, the programmatic customizations. Because if I'm going with the validation rules are not able to achieve that do duplication process. Duplication elimination is not possible through validation rules here, because validation rules are purely executing at the client side, that means user interface level. To verify with this name already record is exist or not, we have to go to the database here, but database cannot be connected through validation rules here. For that one, validations are always executing at the client side, which cannot achieve the deduplication process here. For that one, we can go with that, the programmatic customizations. Now, by using this, we can implement the complex validations and the complex transactional flows. And complex business logics. Okay, complex business logics here. Now, in this case, it will be taking less time or more time now? More time here, okay? Now, it is a time consuming. It's a time consuming process. Budget also will be getting increased. Okay, it will be increasing the budget also. Okay, so this is a major difference between declarative customizations and then programmatic customizations. Declarative customizations can be done with the help of mouse pointers. As of now, through mouse pointers, we have implemented so many databases, nothing but the model part we have implemented, and then the view part we have implemented, and then business logics also we have implemented. But sometimes, if you want to go beyond these things, then we can go with that programmatic customization. So that to implement your own customized user interfaces, we can go with that Visual Force programming. To design your own custom business logic, we are using the Apex programming here. Database is same two mechanisms, okay, by using standard navigation schema builder here. Okay, clear? Now, so this is the overview of the Force.com platform, and as part of this Force.com platform, we are having the Apex programming and the Visual Force programming. Now, tomorrow we'll see what exactly the Apex programming, what is the use, what are the various fundamental building blocks are available for the Apex programming, how the Apex programming will be getting executing internally, what is Apex programming execution lifecycle or execution architecture, we'll see practically in tomorrow's session here. Okay, from there onwards we'll see some small programs we will implement, and then we'll go with that advanced features also one by one. Okay.